to RGDC. Do we have any first-time RGDC people here? Has everyone been here before? Because either way, you're in for a good time. But yeah, if you're here to learn how to make games, even if you're just interested in that and want to see what other people are working on, or want to learn a thing or two about game development, this is the right place. We're open to all majors. We're here for you to learn about game dev topics. We give weekly presentations and we host a game jam every semester. So stay tuned for that info, and there'll be a slide about that later. So yeah, we're here. We have a nice community of people who can give you advice, critique your work. You can find people to work with, learn about some industry jobs, get some industry gossip from some people on the inside, and just lurk around if you want to. But everything game dev related, that's what our club is for. So again, you do not need to be a game dev major to be a part of our club. This is open to everybody who's interested in game development. You could be a stenography major. I don't care. You're welcome here. So yeah, all experience levels, all majors. We accept everybody. So you might notice that Kaylee is missing. That's because she graduated and I'm the president now. Yes, I'm acting president for this semester at least. Everyone else is still the same, but yeah, this semester I'm president. I hold the power, ha ha ha. Okay, so our schedule is a little different this semester. Last semester we did a lot of different events. This semester we're consolidating into just 2 main events. One is every other week, one is every week. You're right here, right now. You are in our Thursday weekly presentation. So we do them on all sorts of game dev topics. Here are some we've done in the past. 3D animation was last semester. I mean, all of these, I believe, were last semester at some point, except for Quaternion Day. I don't think we ever had to pull out Quaternion Day, but rest assured, you will not escape Quaternion Day because everyone must learn about quaternions or else they will cry, and you will still cry no matter what because quaternions make you cry.
But I'd love to finally maybe understand quaternions.
You'll never understand quaternions, I'm sorry. That's just how it works. But we also have events every other Saturday, Game Club. So this Saturday, we voted on this at the end of last semester. We will be discussing the Talos Principle. You do not have to have played it. Ideally, it would be nice if you did, but everyone's free to join and discuss, talk about the game design behind the Talos Principle. And that's every other Saturday at 2 in the afternoon. Everyone gets to vote on the next game that gets played and play that for 2 weeks and then come discuss it, vote on the next one. But there may or may not be some changes to the format this semester that still need to be ironed out. But yeah, Saturdays, Game Club, fun time. Also, again, we host a game jam every single semester, at least one. Game jams, if you don't know what they are making a game in a short amount of time and usually submitting it to a place like itch.io, some kind of thing where your work gets voted on and get some prizes potentially. You can work alone, with a group, any game engine. Well, most game engines, some just do not cut it for our game jam purposes. But yeah, it's all about making a game in a limited amount of time. Game jams are a great way to learn about game dev stuff and to test your skills and just, have fun. So that's going to be happening later this semester, and we'll have more info for that as we get closer to it. But the most important thing about this semester is that we're having our yearly e-board election. Every year we vote, and people who run can, run for a spot on the e-board and, become, an e-board member for the club. So basically that means, helping run the club, helping with events like game jams, getting to decide things like, topic for the game jam, helping coordinate that stuff, helping us figure out, what we use our funds on, that kind of stuff. So yeah, e-board elections are coming up. They are in a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, February 10th. I will be sending out a survey after this meeting for those who wish to apply to run for the e-board. And then, our election day will be our Thursday meeting on the 10th. So here's some resources for game dev stuff at RIT. There's, the IGM labs, Magic Labs. SOFA is like swipe access depending on what classes you are taking. Like, for example, I'm taking a 3D animation class, so I can access some SOFA computer labs I normally wouldn't be able to. There's also some computer labs in the SAU. I don't recommend those. They're not fun computer labs to be in, but they exist. So yeah, they have Unreal on them. So that's pretty good, but I'm pretty sure all lab computers have Unreal. So yeah, Unity, Unreal, your standard game engines. Although I hear Godot's pretty popular these days, Julian's not here to be like, woohoo. But there's that. Maya's, standard 3D suite software. There's Adobe, Substance Painter in certain labs. All that is there for you to make games with. So go out and use those resources at RIT while you have them. So some other communities besides this one, Rock Game Dev is a local group specifically for like Rochester, not necessarily RIT, the college. They're just local game devs. They meet, I believe, once or twice a month. I think their next meeting is next week, actually. So that's something to check out. Rock Game Dev, look them up. They also have a Discord server. Rock Game Fest is February 19th this year. It's most likely going to be online for reasons that we're online right now. But yeah, that's coming up. You can try some games, local games. My group's game may or may not be there. So yeah, check out Rock Game Fest. It's a fun time. Although I wish we could be in person. Wear your masks, people, and then we can do Rock Game Fest in person. Maker Faire is a similar thing. I don't really know what time of the year that's happening. I think that's more of a fall thing, but that's something to keep in mind as long as you're an RIT student and you're going to be in Rochester. Maker Faire. And the Strong Museum in Rochester also has some game dev events every now and then. They had a Women in Games event last semester. I heard it was a fun time. So yeah, Strong Museum. I highly recommend checking it out. So yeah, networking. If you have a game dev job or just want to, be tracked with other club members, alumni, and current, we have this Google Doc that you can add yourself to for game dev jobs. And just make some connections. We have a lot of really cool alumni who have been in RIT Game Dev Club. There's Seth, he works on Elder Scrolls Online. Kaylee's currently at Ubisoft. Mark is off making Camera That Bleeds, a game he's worked on. Yeah, Mark Lapina, if you've heard of him. So cool alumni that you have access to as part of this club. They're pretty open to communication. They can help you out with some cool stuff. They can point you in the right direction for certain things. They're cool people, and I highly suggest seeking them out. Our Discord, speaking of which, here's an invite link if you aren't part of our Discord already. Go ahead and join it. We're also going to be enforcing a rule this semester. We mentioned this over winter break. If your screen name does not contain your real name, we've got to ask you to change that now. It's got to incorporate your real name in some way. So yeah. We ask you to do that going forward. But yeah, if you want to know what meetings we're having, what the topics for the weekly meetings are going to be, if you want to look for people to work with, if you want to share your work, or a lot of people just send memes, that's also appreciated. You can do all that in our Discord server. And finally, our email list. Every week we send out emails related to our weekly activities. Learn about what game to play for Game Club, see what the next meeting is going to be. Yeah, check us out via our email list. We also have a Twitter at RIT Game Dev. I run that Twitter. Please follow me on Twitter. So that's another way to get updates on the club. So yeah, that's a little intro. That's how we roll if you haven't been here before. But yeah, pretty fun time. Now we're going to be talking about healthy game dev.
Hi, I'm back.
Hello, Julian. Look who finally joined us.
I didn't want to interrupt. I've been here for 4 minutes. Hello,
Awesome.
I'm Julian. I'm your vice president.
Welcome, Julian. Just in time to present on healthy game dev. So I sure hope this doesn't need to be presented to any of you, but just in case, well, if it didn't need to be presented, we wouldn't be presenting it. But some people might need this presentation very, very desperately, and we are here to provide healthy game dev. So, what is healthy game dev? Well, prioritizing your health while developing games. We do not want you dying on us while you make your games. You've got to eat, you got to drink, you got to sleep. That one's, I know that's difficult, especially as an RIT student, but please sleep. And you absolutely have to shower. Please, I beg you, at least once a day. Please, 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 please shower.
Please shower.
Yes. Some people might need that advice more than others, but please shower. More people at RIT need that advice than there should be. But please shower. It bears repeating. Please, please shower. So yeah, that's very important. But also take breaks. You're not put on this planet to make games. You're here to have fun. You're here to live your life. And sometimes that involves not playing video games. So please, well, yeah, obviously not playing video, but not making them either. So, you know, remember to live your life. You know, take breaks. Don't spend all your time making games. Your life's too short to spend all your time working. And that includes, you know, during game jams. Please take breaks during game jams. Please go to sleep during game jams. Please shower during game jams. Remember to do everything you do outside of game jam during a game jam. So yeah, again, you know, this might seem obvious to some people, but other people really, really need this advice. So we must remind. Please, like,
Also,
remind yourself.
It is very easy to just forget these things when you're like invested in making a game. You know, you can feel like you're on a roll and you can forget that lunch already passed 3 hours ago. It's surprisingly easy to do. And I'm sure we've all done it. I've done it before. Try not to do that.
Yeah, I know I have trouble getting enough sleep, but it's so important. 8 hours, people, 8 hours of sleep. So yeah, more on breaks. You know, just in general, you can't handle doing so much work in 1 week. You know, like there's diminishing returns on that, right? So I believe we talked about this in a later slide, but like 40 hours a week on work in general for a full-time position, after you break past 40 hours, like you're not going to be doing good work. So there's no point in doing the work, you know? Like, you know, you got to take breaks. You gotta not always be working on games. So yeah, there's lots of ways to take a break. Instead of making games, you can play games. You can, you know, binge some videos. I know I love watching videos on my preferred video platform, and I'm sure you do too. Going on a walk, maybe not during the winter. Maybe you should try these other 3 before you decide to go on a walk in this weather. But
it was nice yesterday.
I beg to differ, but
I thought it was nice yesterday.
I hate snow.
Right.
I hate wind.
You don't have to go on a walk in a minute.
You don't have to go on a walk. Go on a walk when it's actually nice outside, and not when Julian says it's nice outside.
All right.
But yeah, that's what you can do. Also, again, more on breaks. Do not only take breaks. Don't also overwork yourself. Crunch is bad. Crunch is bad. Whether you're forcing it on yourself or somebody else is forcing it on you, do not accept crunch. You have to find limits between, you know, working and playing. So you've got to like turn, like, this is how I like to think about it, is, you know, turning off your work brain and, you know, having your play brain on when you're not doing active game dev work, because it's not worth working on something all the time, because it's not good for your brain. It's not good for your work. Again, 40 hours a week is about the max that you're going to get good work out of yourself. You gotta take it easy. So yeah, another great way to be healthy is to make games with friends, because if you make games by yourself, you have to do the whole game. Do you know how much game is in a game? because I sure don't sometimes.
There's at least 100% game inside of each game.
Yes. And if you work by yourself, you have to do all 100 of those percents. But if you have at least one other person, that halves the amount of percentages you have to work on that game, potentially. So yeah, be a part of a team, mostly because most game devs in the industry do not work by themselves. Even Toby Fox did not make Undertale by himself. You have to remember this. Nobody is a solo game dev, truly, I think, most of the time. But yeah,
There's only like 3 people who've made games by themselves. And they're probably
Yeah.
very simple games because they made them by themselves.
nobody can really work alone and get very far. So work with a team. Because also, if you want like a big industry job, if you want to work at like, well, I mean, I don't know why that was the first one that came to mind, probably because it's been in the news, but like your Activisions, your what have you, maybe a better company than that. You have to be part of a team because Activision is not one person. No AAA studio is one person. They actually kind of operate by being many more than one person. So if you want to get a job, you have to have teamwork skills. Yeah, and you can also cover each other's weaknesses. I know it is very hard to be skilled at everything. You do not have to live your life learning every single skill you could possibly learn. It's okay to not be good at one part of game dev, and that's why you work with other people, because they'll be good at the parts you're not good at, and you'll make cool stuff together because you'll be good at the stuff that you're not good at, and then make game good. It's great. It's awesome. But yeah, use our server. We have a looking for members channel. If you want to work on a game with other people, that's how to go about it. So yeah, find some people here at RIT or in the Rochester area if you so desire. There's a whole other college, or potentially more than that. Imagine how many game devs there are at U of R that you could poach to work on RIT projects. That would show them. So yeah. Finally, does anyone have their own special healthy game dev lifestyle choices that they'd like to share? My personal favorite is, yeah, I'll just start us off. My personal favorite is that I like to separate the spaces I do my work in. Like, I know that if I work from home, especially because I don't have like a separate room or space to work from, like working from home is not going to be productive for me. That's just not how my brain works. So I like to go somewhere else. And like, you've probably heard this advice before because of like working at home from Zoom and stuff. But like having a play space and a workspace is very beneficial because, then you can easily, switch your brain from work mode to play mode. Because, if you're at your computer at home where you do all your fun stuff, your brain's going to be in fun stuff mode and it's not going to be able to focus on work. So that's what I like to do, is go somewhere else when I want to get work done. And, if I'm at home, don't worry about getting work done. So anyone else have any fun, healthy, please tell me y'all have some healthy habits for game dev?
You better.
When I play test, I have an exercise bike underneath my desk that I use.
Nice.
Get exercise and game dev at the same time.
Yeah, exercise is a good way to potentially take breaks also, I mean, that's part of taking a walk, but you can also exercise indoors, as Carter just said.
I've always
Julian?
wanted to get one of those, like those desks that can become standing desks or sitting desks. That's not a thing that I currently do, but that's a thing that I want to do when I have money in a place that I live permanently.
New Year's resolution.
I don't have a place I live permanently.
I guess this is something that I probably don't do it as often as I should, but if you're in like if you're doing stuff with your game that involves like drawing or just basically a lot of hand movement, which a lot of game design or a lot of game development does, then it's good to make sure to like take breaks to like stretch out your wrists and basically like keep them from cramping. There's like a bunch of like great exercise lists you can find online to just like reduce strain. So
Yes. Gotta stretch your hands. Don't want to get carpal tunnel.
This doesn't apply to drawing, but to like if you're using the mouse a lot, I've got a vertical mouse a while back and it helps like so much with preventing like wrist strain. So
ooh,
would recommend.
Nice, nice. Love to hear people being healthy. Well, if that's about it for everybody, we're just about ready for project sharing.
Yeah.
So we will be heading on over to Discord, our project sharing channel. If y'all have any cool game dev projects you want to show, now is the perfect time to show them off. Because that's what we do every week after our presentations. So I will see you there. Thanks everyone for coming to our first presentation, and I hope y'all have some cool projects to show.
yeah, thanks.
See you there.
See ya.
See ya.